So as I mentioned in my post, BARRACKS, an amazing up-and-coming Terran player. He's the other guy, other than Speed, that I've been watching the most. BARRACKS. He has a lot of potential. He's made it into the ASL before, and I'm sure he's going to make it in again this season. STORK, who's been in so many seasons of ASL. He's the Dinosaur Toss player. Was incredibly talented and still is an incredibly talented Toss player. A little bit on the slower side, but he's been putting in a lot of efforts to increase his skill. In the past year or so, he has leveled up a whole hell of a lot. Still relies very heavily on carrier, but I can't wait to see how he plays against BARRACKS here. Jumping into game number 1 now, we've got STORK over in the top left-hand corner. And BARRACKS is down in the bottom left. Looks like I missed the first part of that. But here we are, getting started with this series. Radion, our first map. Very large map. But I still expect a little bit of aggression out of BARRACKS, even on a map this large. It's a vertical spawns, not cross spawns, so there's a pretty clear push angle for BARRACKS. STORK will have to expand horizontally along the map, most likely expanding to the normal third base here for STORK. Not going to be tenable. It's such an easy push location. That bridge provides a lot of cover for your push. You can kind of just push up to the bridge and then still hit the nexus over at that third base. So I think we'll see STORK expand over towards the top right and try to draw the Terran push out into the middle of the map where he can try to crush it. I've seen STORK do quite a bit of speed shuttle play, getting into early Templar, as has been the norm for a little while now. But he's still very good with carrier. You absolutely cannot stop scanning this man to make sure that he's not going for that transition. Keeping on top of that carrier transition and hitting STORK while it's underway is going to be key for BARRACKS winning any of these games. Taking this series away from STORK. Remember guys, $500 on the line every day of the DUEL series. We're going to be going over to the winner. And so these guys are going to be playing their hearts out, putting everything on the line. It's a tough life as a Broodwar streamer, as a Broodwar professional player. Picking up this win is going to add to their comfort and ability to continue doing what they love. We got BARRACKS checking out for as long as possible that cybernetic core, trying to get information about when the range is going to start, but he ends up losing the SCV. Really good control so far from STORK. That's one thing that stands out for STORK more than anything else, is his control is insanely good. Tactically, generally an extremely sound player as well. But occasionally the mechanics tend to lack, and that's where BARRACKS has the advantage, I think, is the mechanics. His ability to produce and continue to produce even while crazy things are going on, and then his ability to force interactions and multitask beyond what STORK can handle. I think that's where he will excel. So that's why I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of aggressive plays from BARRACKS. Now, losing one Marine here is pretty painful. A second Marine is getting really bad now, and BARRACKS is going to get severely punished for the greed that he's displayed so far in this first game. He loses an SCV there as well. 5 kills on this Dragoon. This is all because BARRACKS went for a machine shop right off the bat rather than getting a vulture out early. He was thinking about going for that. Oh gosh, there's 2 Dragoons here now. He can drive this tank. He will get the tank, guys. 1 tank goes down. This is extremely bad for BARRACKS. STORK is in a massive lead now. He's going to be able to prevent the CC from finishing, kill another SCV here. And another Dragoon is coming, by the way. This is not over. Another Dragoon is possibly going to be able to run by this bunker, and he gets out. Oh my goodness, he slips past. Those SCVs were trying so desperately hard to block, but he's not able to get the block off, and so the Dragoons will pull back. He keeps those 2 alive. He's traded 1 Dragoon for 3-4 SCVs, a few Marines, and a tank. Insanely good value for the early game units of STORK. BARRACKS getting outplayed so far, and he's gonna try to push out. I don't know if I like this. Yeah, STORK, he could just dive directly on that tank. As the second tank comes up though, it's gonna be a lot harder to make that trade. Reaver is on the way. Range, of course, has been done for a little bit. And so STORK has all the tools necessary to stop a push like this. I can't believe that BARRACKS is coming out to try something like this push when he's already lost a tank, so many Marines and SCVs. He's going to push right up over towards this natural. 4 Dragoons is a pretty solid number. And the Reaver is about to pop out. It's going to come out from behind this. He's going to go after the tank. He goes after the wrong tank, though. Can he get both of them? I think he will. No. Only gets 1 tank. Only needs like 1 more shot on this tank, though, to kill. And the Reaver will be out here soon. 2 Dragoons in the natural. Gonna deal with this vulture. Almost lost that tank, man. That was scary. This Reaver should go straight across the map, but he's a little bit afraid of a follow-up. Gonna bring the Reaver to the natural for a bit of that defense. Now he's sending it across the map. This has been spotted by BARRACKS. Gonna kill that vulture. Easy. Setting up a pylon wall here on the high ground. Oh, BARRACKS. Not sending the vulture up onto that high ground is really gonna hurt him. Won't be able to kill this probe. And the pylon wall ends up getting set right after that arrives. So frustrating losses so far for BARRACKS. He is really not showing his best play here, game number 1. Here comes the Reaver. Great dodge there. But the Reaver does, the mine does end up hitting the Dragoon, however. The Dragoon is gone. Big shot there. Oh my goodness, he gets the tank. And that second tank is very low as well. He could go after that. He will try to kill that. Can he get it? He does. 2 tanks go down. And now BARRACKS is wide open. He can just kill these vultures, no problem. Juggling in between the shots. Gonna start to go after some SCVs now. Here comes a mine. Kills another few more SCVs. Gonna drop back a little bit further out of range. Can he dodge this tank shot? He does dodge the tank shot as well and gets a hit. Direct hit on that tank. Now the vulture is gonna go down as well. STORK is light years ahead. 2 HP on this tank as it sieges up here in the main. Not in range though, and another big hit. Another massive hit there for STORK. This is looking like snow pulling apart a Terran player. But it is in fact STORK who's showing us some magnificent control here with his Reaver. It's another big shot on another tank. There's the final hit though, as that Reaver goes down. The dust settles here. STORK, his mechanics showing a little bit. You can see he's banking up a lot of probes, but it's a good thing he had those probes building at least during all of that fighting. And all of that control he was doing, it was definitely worth it. He's accrued a massive lead. Now can transfer the probes over here to the 3rd. Once things have cooled off a little bit. And start to really crank out these gateways. He has so much income flowing into his economy. BARRACKS is going to set up a couple more factories and probably, I imagine, just do a 2-base push. In a situation like this, it's daunting to try and take a late third and allow the Protoss to start snapping up more and more of the map. You'd like to think that by dragging this out into a late game, you could possibly win as the Terran. By just getting into... Oh, he's going to catch the probe, I guess. Catch the probe heading up towards top right, maybe? That's kind of good. Slow down any further expansions. His economic position is bad, but if he can slip in and kill some probes, maybe he could make that transition. I just don't see it happening, though. Yeah, the Protoss is just going to expand too crazy, too much out onto the map, take so many bases that if you try to go for the economic game here as Terran, you're going to end up getting left in the dust. And so Barracks gearing up for an attack. It'll be his last desperate attempt. If STORK handles it, the game will end. If he ends up losing a base or a lot of probes, or I don't see STORK actually losing right off of this, is what I'm trying to say. Even if this push works out fantastically, maybe Barracks can follow it up with a third base. If he does a lot of damage, take this into a late game. If the push gets crushed, he just straight up loses. But I can't imagine he's gonna run over STORK with this attack. I don't see it happening. STORK has such a massive... Look at how many zealots are out here, plus all the zealots inside of these shuttles. He's gonna have more shuttles coming forward as well. Even just holding a third base would be hard. But if he tries to push here, I think STORK is gonna run that over. But he really doesn't have much of a choice. He doesn't really have a lot of options. STORK might just go for the natural, though. Oh my gosh, just flying in, dropping zealots on the high ground. He's just gonna bulldog this? Unreal. The advantage accrued is too big. And STORK is just gonna dive directly into this natural, kill a ton of tanks. The zealots are being mopped up pretty handily by this number of vultures, but every tank is gonna end up going down. And behind this, STORK is macroing out another fearsome army. Every tank has fallen. All the Dragoons are gone as well. The Reavers died and the shuttles, it seems, went down. I'm not sure actually if both the shuttles are dead or not. It might be sitting here just off screen. Okay, there it is. One shuttle survives. No, two shuttles. Both of them survive. And so he can pick up another round of zealots and start dropping again. I'll probably make some Dragoons after this. Barracks is going to try to push out, maybe take a third. Yeah, he's got a CC trying to build, but he's got two tanks. Two tanks. And the zealots are going to drop right on top of this. Going to drop some zealots on high ground as well. There are quite a few vultures to try and deal with this, but he's going to be microing like crazy, trying to keep his stuff alive. The tanks are all going to go down and just flowing zealots across the map. Eventually, STORK will be able to wipe this out. He will be able to overcome this Terran player. 1,500 minerals in the bank. He's floating quite a bit as he's trying to micro all this and get his production online, but Barracks is just about toast. He will finish his CC. And again, he'll be able to move out with about 2 to 3 tanks to try and hold on to that base, but the units coming out into the natural right now, the units at the rally point alone, I think, can just beat this straight up. Vultures come across the map. They're going to get caught between all of these Dragoons on either side. It's like maybe a mine connection found its way to a group of Dragoons there that was trying to clear that out, but I'm not sure. And a round of zealots and a few shuttles loading them up will probably spell an end to this game. STORK bringing everything to the fore. 3 tanks is all he's been able to accumulate. We've got Templar in here as well. Templar with the Storm. Gonna throw that down on a bunch of these vultures. Can he get another storm? No. That secondary storm doesn't end up going off. I think he's got another Templar or two in this shuttle. And a Zealot rally making its way forward. Okay, only one Zealot coming up here. But he's gonna kill the barracks before even diving on these tanks. Kind of hilarious that he stopped, paused to just kill that barracks. It's really just telling you how much of a lead he's got. Here comes the Templar into the natural. Big storms on this entire mineral line to finish things off. That's got to be the clincher. The final nail in the coffin here for barracks. He knows he's cooked with only 35 workers left, but he's not willing to go into the next game just yet. He's gonna hang in there for now. 9 kills and 8 kills on these two Templar respectively. I think he's just noticed. Or at least he's just now responding to that. There's gonna be another storm here available in just 2 more seconds. Will he get it off? There's a bunch of SCVs transferring. STORK! Storm, not gonna happen. But he's ready for this next attack coming directly in with all the shuttles. Be dropping on top of these tanks as these units push forward. No, budget recall into the main base instead. A lot of Zealots have just been unloaded here. Gonna go to work on some of these factories and the units pouring out of them. Some good mine connections on some of these units, and mostly the Zealots are just being cleaned out easily by these vultures. This was not a very good trade for STORK, throwing away quite a bit of supply and a lot of money to really get almost nothing done. Dropping Dragoons now on top of tanks. STORK is getting a little bit too fancy. He's trying some weird things right now. But like I said, it really doesn't matter. He has such a massive advantage. He can mess around in a situation like this. Not too much. He can't mess around too much. But he can mess around a bit and still be okay. Here comes those Dragoons, clearing out the mines. A big load up here. Only 3 tanks. 4 tanks now at the front. And there's more shuttles in this army than there are tanks. So a bunch of Zealots and Dragoons going to be dropped right on top of this. Be targeting down those Dragoons, no doubt, getting rid of those units. And then the Dragoons can deal with everything else as the tanks go down. Pure Vulture versus pure Dragoon is not going to favor the Barracks army. He's going to slowly but surely cleave through all of these final units. Barracks with this last desperate attack, sitting now at 170 supply, a full 50 behind his opponent, 30 workers only mining off of these 3 bases. Is giving it a valiant effort, but STORK will inevitably take this one home. Here comes a counter drop over towards his 3rd base. STORK maybe gonna let his own 4th die. No, it doesn't come to that. Barracks taps out as STORK wins game number 1. Game number 2. We're getting started. Here it is. STORK versus Barracks. Game number 2 with STORK spawning in the top right-hand corner. He was looking magnificent in that first game, but as it often happens, when Protoss gets an early lead, things started to roll uncontrollably downhill for Barracks spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner. When things start to fall apart, they really do fall apart fast for the Terran. They can feel like an impenetrable, unbreakable wall at times, and then other times they seem to crumble extremely fast when things start to go wrong. And we just saw the latter in that last game. We'll see if Barracks can form that unbreakable wall this game with a solid early game build. I doubt he'll be opening with a late bunker and an add-on on his factory again. That turned out to be a crazy big mistake from Barracks. Stork a little bit too good with his early game units. A little bit too confident with his Dragoon to let that happen, to let that slip by. Gets in there and gets that damage, and now Barracks on the back foot. It's gonna open with a gas build once again, it seems. Although, now we've passed the 12 supply count. It seems that Barracks has changed his mind. No longer going to continue with this gas build any longer. He's actually going to switch it up into a gasless fast expand. It's a reasonable map to do so. Let's talk about Pantheon a bit, because I generally favor Terran on this map. However, it's super spawn dependent. And in this case, we have spawns that I think favor Protoss a little bit more. We got cross map position. If you're a big fan of this game and you have seen the stats for cross map in TVP, it makes a massive difference. It's a big difference in overall win rates, giving a dramatic boost to the Protoss win rate whenever they spawn cross map. And I think it's especially true on this map in particular. When you're in horizontal spawns, let's say that Stork, instead of spawning top right, was spawned top left, I would give a massive advantage to Barracks with a 2-base push. Push along that vertical axis and come out right at the natural in a very tight bottleneck. That area there is very difficult to break. But in this case, he's going to have to push all the way up to top right in order to deal damage to Stork. He's going to have to push through a massive open center of the map. I hope that Stork will expand to the south from this position. It just makes it so much harder for the Terran player to push in. If he were to expand it down to the south, he gets in with the probe, sees that the CC is already done. He's aware of the build now, and he's bringing his Dragoons forward to start attacking this bunker. It was a pretty quick nexus after the initial gateway from Stork. So I wouldn't put him at a large deficit, but I think he needs to get a little damage going here at the front to sort of even things out. Get this this bunker forced to repair. At least for a little bit. As he has fallen behind in workers. Got to pull some of those workers off the mineral line. Force them to do something other than just straight up mine resources. The 4th Marine into this bunker. They will indeed start to hit that. Forcing the repair. And evening out that worker count just slightly for the time being. He's about 5 workers behind. 4 workers behind now. But with the 3 off the line, really is going to make a difference. Factories are coming up. Going up to 4 factory right away. I wonder if this is going to be a heavy tank style from Barracks with a very early 2-base push. On the side of Stork, we got a Reaver on the way. I'm not the most familiar with the ins and outs of TVP, especially the builds of Terran. We've got a Stargate on the way, though. And I don't see a Citadel. So this is likely going to be for Carrier. Possibly a 2 or 3 base transition into Carrier as a probe makes its way over here to the center right. He may want to try and take a base. This might play right into the hands of Barracks, though, unfortunately, for Stork. Fortunately for him, it is cross map. There's going to be a long push distance. It'll be hard for Barracks to get over here and kill, to hit that timing and end the game before carriers are fully out. But there's still that possibility. And there it is. 2 Stargate carrier. I was expecting carrier pretty heavily from this matchup. Gonna opt, rather than stopping to try and fight that army with the Reaver, he's gonna go for the main. See if he can deal massive damage to this economy while he deals with everything at home with his rallies. And the small army that he's put together so far, it's mostly vultures being made for Barracks, so that's not gonna fare very well against the Reaver that's been dropped off here in his main. He does get some good damage on that Reaver with the vultures. There are Dragoons back at home, though. We're going to be blocking a lot of this stuff out. That's quite a few tanks, though. Tanks are going to deal some serious damage. Probes are going to come off the line now to try and fight this. Dragoon on the left-hand side going to help to defend. How many kills does this Reaver have going over to the natural? Now, there's nothing here in terms of mines to actually block this. Another big shot there. Gets rid of the mine. Barracks is paused at the natural for now. A Reaver comes out. It's going to get a big shot. Can he actually get a second hit, though? No second hit there. More vultures coming in. It's Tornado Terran here, just sending in vultures continuously, trying to break this open. A lot of probes just went down there. But there's only 10 workers on the side of Barracks. He's lost so much. He has to do insane damage. Not only kill the Nexus, but go into the main and end this. SCV kill, huge SCV kills there. Dropping him down to just 5. Oh, a scout comes out. STORK choosing the right unit for the job. He's gonna get this STORK out, start to tickle those tanks. As long as he doesn't die here, he's gonna be 100% fine. Just needs to survive. That is it. 100% fine. With just not losing every unit in his mineral line. Every probe is what Barracks needs to kill. Builds a little bit of a pylon wall here. Tank goes down, though, as does the Reaver. This scout doing its job. What is this Dragoon doing? The Dragoon is, I don't even know, not on hold position, not on stop position. It is stuck. It is broken. The broken robot there standing over by that robo, but the vultures get trapped. Vultures are going to be killed by the probes. Citizens arrest as the probes take out that vulture. And really, there's nothing else coming across this map. We're seeing like 1 vulture get made and sent across the map at a time. The Reaver is still bouncing back and forth between the main and natural, trying to deal damage. It's still alive in this shuttle, although it is very low on HP. GG is called. Barracks taps out. STORK grabs another victory. Turned out to be the right choice there, sending the Reaver directly in against this 4 factory. Not enough defenses for Barracks. Not enough mines were laid down. And he wasn't able to out-control STORK in this wacky situation. STORK showing some excellent multitasking there. Absolutely legendary scout. Yes, thank you, Camby. Here we go. STORK versus Barracks. In game number 3, STORK spawning here in the top left-hand corner. His old bones creaking as he reaches 670 APM. Barracks down there in the bottom left, reeling from the last 2 losses. His aggressive style not paying off against STORK, who matches aggression with aggression in the early game. That last one, bringing forward a Reaver and putting on the pressure to Barracks as he tries to initiate that push. It turned out to be the right decision, paying off huge. against Barracks. Really, his control has leveled up. Stork's control for Reaver has certainly leveled up. I can't wait to see how he performs this season in ASL. By the way, guys, gonna be streaming ASL live this season on this channel, this SOOP channel. It will not be on YouTube, aside from a re-upload by Starcraft TV once the VOD is complete. So you can check it out on Starcraft TV. My commentary of the ASL with my handsome co-caster Shun. Again, that'll be live here and later on uploaded to Starcast TV. So get hyped, guys. What heights can Stork achieve this season? I expect to see Barracks in there. I think a lot of us expect to see him go far, but Stork is still a factor. Is still a beast. And he even brought out the Scout last game. Absolutely epic way to finish that one. Building a Scout to just shut down those tanks. Making the perfect decisions. And that's why he's such a tactical genius. However, gonna lose this probe right off the bat. Forcing me to eat my words a little bit. Oh, the factory's being built in a weird location. Way over here on the top side of the base. Pretty far from where the Marines have their little wall-in set up. A little Sim City for microing is not going to really help them in a situation like this. The Zealot's going to come around the side. He can delay this factory again. This is the second time the factory's been delayed. Oh, he just barely finishes it. That was really close. 2 kills, though. 2 SCVs dead. And the Zealot's looking for more. Going to walk right up against this as the screen cuts away. Seems that the Marines managed to make their way behind that wall, but the Vulture, oh no! The Vulture goes down. This is terrible for Barracks. He is performing really poorly this series so far, I've gotta say. Setting out a secondary factory, he does not want to mess around any further. He's had enough punishment. He's gonna try to two-fact his way to a win in this game. The STORK is putting on so much pressure, man. He's just lighting Barracks up. However, Vulture's coming in from this odd angle, and STORK being so aggressive with these Dragoons, maybe we can see Barracks slip in with Vultures and kill a lot of probes. That is a possibility. Nexus starts back at home. Still more pressure here at the front. Trying to kill some more Marines. But he really is sending all of his forces across the map. Oh, he sends a Dragoon out. No, 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 no. Oh, okay. It's a probe. It's sent to top center. He's looking for something. He's looking for something here. Is he going to find this factory? That would be absolutely massive. Oh, the probe. Barely not going to see this. STORK not going to have confirmation of anything being out on the map. Oh, wait. I think he saw it. I think he just saw it. Good chance he just saw that. He should be sending a probe to the wall now. Okay, he sees the Vulture right there. There's the Vulture. Dragoon, run to the wall. Oh my gosh, it's a probe. It's a race between the probe and the Vulture. Can he get a pylon down? No, he does not. I can't believe he didn't turn that Dragoon around. Absolutely insane decision there from STORK to not turn that Dragoon around. He's still hitting the wall there. He's still hitting the bunker. He finally turns the Dragoon around. Oh my gosh. Catastrophic error here for STORK. And this is going to allow Barracks to get right back into this series, I think. He's going to kill so many probes. This is an insane amount of damage. We're down to 13 probes. Dragoon comes back in, gets hit by the Vulture mine. going up onto the high ground here. He hasn't been able to set up any sort of pylon wall there. It would be very smart of him to set up a pylon wall, but he doesn't. He doesn't set up the pylon wall, and so the vultures will continue to wreak havoc, continuing to kill off more and more and more workers. Dragoon, gotta get in this wall. Get in the wall! Oh my gosh, he doesn't pull it into the wall. So many mistakes being made here by Stork. Nearly unforgivable errors. He's gonna lose so much of his economy. And all of his momentum truly is gone now. Dragoons are gonna head back home. I think he killed the bunker, actually. I think he actually killed it. But he's caused too much panic with this vulture run by into the main. He is eventually going to get an observer out. Walk right into these mines. Oh my gosh, almost walking into that mine there. Gotta shoot that down. Oh god! Double kill on the Dragoons there. Backing up into a mine. Does manage to catch a vulture there. Yeah, he did kill the bunker, but he didn't dive in. I guess there were mines. He really should have been able to get in there and do more damage. But instead, he brings all of the Dragoons back home. And he's eventually going to be able to clear this out, it seems. But the follow-up from Barracks, the 2-fact follow-up, is going to be strong. There's only one observer. One observer. And one gateway. Against 2 factories. He can't make a Reaver. He's gonna try and hold this off. Definitely gonna take some damage here. Dragoon at the bottom of the gateway is gonna be picked. Tank coming forward now. There are 4 Dragoons, so you gotta be careful. Zealot pops out. Is it gonna drag this mine? Oh, it does drag the mine, but not getting enough damage onto that tank. And so the tank will be able to retreat here. Can he dive on that tank now? I think he might be able to. However, vultures will be let by if he decides to dive on that. And so causing more chaos here for Stork. I don't think he's got the money. Oh, he gets the tank. That is a huge kill. He kills the tank and he's got the Dragoon for the wall. Secondary Dragoon comes out. Should be able to clear that mine. And he won't take any more damage. Stork hangs on. Somehow he hangs on to this. With 1 gateway against 2 factory. Maybe the economic hit was too much for Barracks. He hasn't really been able to produce off of both factories, perhaps. Stork gets in there with the observer. He still sees nothing but vultures coming across this map. I can't believe he wasn't in the wall there. How is he not in the wall? Oh my gosh, he almost eats that mine as well. Absolutely ridiculous. The errors we're seeing here on both sides. He's still not in the wall. What am I looking at? What am I looking at, guys? Finally gonna get in that wall. Oh, but he lets another vulture past. Oh my gosh, what is this game? More vultures slipping in now. More vultures slipping by, getting more damage here in the main. But this is absolutely everything that Barracks has. And now there's more gateways on the way. Another couple more kills here on these probes. Still a 6 probe advantage. Plus he's got a Nexus where Barracks doesn't have an additional CC. Finally, he builds a pylon. Thank you. Holy. This was getting absolutely ridiculous. Getting to the point where this pylon was definitely necessary. Finally, a Reaver gets made. It's going to go right across the map for the killing blow. Looks like the Barracks will go down. Oh, no, he actually mines that mineral patch. Now he's got an opening there. As long as he blocks it, he should be fine. Gotta block that opening. Gotta block that opening. Ah, the vultures get past again. Very annoying stuff. He's not targeting the mine. Okay, he does target the mine finally. Vulture there at the back of the mineral patches is annoying, but here comes the Reaver, and that should be lights out. Baba Booey. No, huge hit there. And he takes out Barracks. Stork 3-0 so far, guys. 3-0. Who would have predicted Stork 3-0 Barracks? In a money match, no less. We're jumping into game number 4 now. With Stork spawning in the top right. Barracks down here in the bottom left. Deja Vu. Cross map. Again, not the greatest spawns for Barracks. Another cross map. This has been hurting him. All the maps where he should have a reasonable chance to win, he's getting bad spawns. Unlucky positions. And I need to update this scoreboard. I apologize, guys. Put that big 3 up there for Stork. He's certainly earned it. These have been some wild games. Especially that last one. I wasn't sure how that was gonna end. When Stork was running his probes back and forth between his main and natural, it looked like he had enough damage going. The Barracks was dealing enough damage. He was gonna be able to snowball that into a win. However, something went wrong there with Barracks. His follow-up, his 2-factory follow-up, just didn't have the punch that it should have. Not able to overcome the single forward gateway that was pumping out Dragoons one at a time. Kind of unbelievable, honestly. But somehow Stork managed to hang on, win that game. And now we've got Barracks here looking to open with Gasless Fast Expand once again. He's been getting punished for it. But he knows this build. Stork shouldn't be able to deal damage to him if he handles it correctly, if he plays his cards right. Just seems like Barracks has been making little mistakes over and over again that have been costing him massively. Mistakes that you wouldn't see a player like Light, his mentor, ever make. So I'm sure that Light's going to be reviewing these games with him, kind of shaking his head, wondering what Barracks, what happened. I mean, everybody has bad days, but three games in a row is a really bad day. This is a very bad day for Barracks. And if he makes it 4, he's really going to be kicking himself, giving that $500 over to Stork. Almost for free. We're barely an hour in to this cast. Actually, 52 minutes in. Minus that bathroom break. Maybe 50 minutes. We've already covered 3 games. Incredibly quick games today. Maybe our quickest ever if Stork takes down Barracks quickly in this game as well. Bringing up his first Dragoon. Bunker's done. Marines are in there. Should have range coming online relatively soon. Stork did go for a rather early Nexus off of the 1 gateway, but assuming that he started his range at a reasonable time, he should have that done here soon. A Citadel coming. He's gonna go for DT. The SCV doesn't go inside the main. There's 2 SCVs on the map. One of them is being chased over here to the top left. The other is coming into the natural right now. There's not a Dragoon popping at this moment. Okay, there's an SCV or the probe on the ramp. There's the Dragoon as well. He sees a second gateway, but he's not gonna know about this Templar Archives that's way over here in the corner. Wow, he managed to dodge this Dragoon probe combo, chasing his SCV over in the top left. That's actually quite significant, keeping that SCV alive for a long time. There's still no range upgrade finished on these Dragoons, and so he's not able to deal damage to the bunker. That might be signaling some things. Okay, there's the range finishing up. But there's certainly some other sort of tech going on for STORK. It's on its way here. It might be Reaver. You know, Barrack's not completely aware if it is or not. Looks like he spotted this SCV over here at his third base, and so he's going to send a Dragoon to take that down. Remove the vision of Barracks from this map and open up the way for his DT to get in here and really deal the damage. Will Barracks be on top of everything enough to have a turret up, to have scanners or mines to defend this? It's not a Reaver drop, or it's not a DT drop. It's certainly some sort of DT play into Arbiter tech, I imagine. But the DTs are just going to walk across the map and try to run by into the natural. We could see, even if there is a turret, STORK try to dive. There we go. He sees it. He sees the Arbiter, and he must know that there is a... there's gotta be DTs on the way here. He can dive on the turret with the 3 Dragoons and the 2 DTs. Go for the kill on that. The Vultures are out of position. They're not here in the natural, but instead, STORK just gonna put the DTs out in the front and wait for his opponent to move forward. He already used a scan. If he tries to attack now, he's gonna try to burn those scans by spreading out these DTs and forcing the scan over and over. And as long as he does that, he should be able to buy enough time for this third base to come up and this Arbiter tech to come online. I think it's a reasonable choice for STORK to make, not diving in with the DTs. Instead, just deriving a plan to slow down Barracks, prevent him from doing a big attack for now, and then waiting on that Arbiter tech to come into its own. There's the DT there at the natural, still on hold position, waiting for a tank push to come out. Some Vultures are going to slip out on the map. Maybe they can get some harassment damage going, but there's quite a few Dragoons ready to counter that. So we'll see if he's able to really deal any damage with this. DT looking to start swiping down a few of these units. Ooh, massive hit there with the mine. Actually clears out all of those Vultures. There was about 5 Vultures there that went down to that one mine. Pretty decent connection working out on the side of STORK. He only loses about 2 probes there, 1 to 2 probes in that mineral transfer as well. So Barracks trading out a good chunk of his early Vultures for just the 1 Dragoon and a couple of probes. Not the greatest trade I've ever seen. And this secondary DT, is it going to escape? Oh my gosh, it gets away. It forces out another scan. How many scans do we have? 2. Only 2 scans remain. Another DT coming forward. Should it be forcing out even more scans? Now there's only 1 scan left. Can he get the kill? Oh, it survives. He forces out another scan. STORK is forcing 2 scans per DT to deal with this, and he's got another DT. He's got another DT. How are you going to deal with this as Barracks? He's going to start to lose tanks. He's going to start to lose Vultures. He can't scan. And an Arbiter is coming, guys. This push is never going to work. There's the Arbiter. He can roll right through this army with the Arbiter overhead and no scan available. Another tank is going to go down. Mark my words. There it is. Tank gets taken out. And now Barracks' push is looking desperate. How is he going to make this work? He needs turrets to come up right outside of the Protoss base, but I just don't see STORK allowing that to happen. We got plenty of Dragoons out here. Ooh, huge mine connection though, as he runs by here into the natural. More Dragoons popping out though. Where is the Observer, by the way? That Observer is a little bit late, and the army is moving over to this position. Where are the Observers? Actually, the lack of Observer is really worrying me here. Okay, there's the Observers coming forward. Looks like he had one at the rally, but failed to bring it forward. Comes one scan. Gonna get rid of that SCV building the turret so that he has to continue to burn scans to keep the army off of him. Another SCV comes forward. Recall is on the way, interestingly. I'm gonna go for that recall button instead. Probes are gonna be pulled. Pretty good connection there with the mine. Does have that turret just about finished up. Looks like this third will be pushed back. STORK may want to take a third over at the center right now instead. He's fallen apart a little bit by allowing those vultures to slip by and so many mine connections to happen. He's caused himself a lot of pain. And BARRACKS has actually gotten a lot done with this, surprisingly, considering how many scans he was forced to burn in the lead up to this fight. And STORK's overall supply advantage looking so good. They're gonna back up here. Where are the Zealots? The Zealots are coming up, but they're really slow to the party. Where are they? They've got to be coming forward here now. There's another scan. Possibly the last scan here from BARRACKS. Here comes those Zealots. They don't have speed somehow. Was not able to afford that speed upgrade. Zealots are going to move into position, getting on top of these tanks. The Dragoons are going to eat some mines here, it looks like. The Zealots will clear out all of these tanks. The Dragoons are still present to fight back against the Vultures. The entire push is cleared, but STORK didn't start another Nexus. He didn't take a Nexus at center right. He just took it now. Kind of late, honestly. This Nexus coming up at center right. He's had money for that for quite some time. This is, I think, BARRACKS' best chance to start this comeback. He has a reasonable position as he takes this third base. STORK gonna double expand, no doubt. After this setback, he'll be hurting a little bit, but he's still got 58 probes. Plenty of economy to work with overall. Looks like these cannons won't be able to come up over at that third base. Oh, well, one cannon did finish, and it killed multiple Vultures. Will finally be taken out. Dragon's gonna be sent over to help deal with these. Oh, wow. Zealot just ran through, I think, and drug a mine into all of those Vultures. And so this will be cleared. And a big recall is being set up for now by STORK. Is he going to go for the main, or will he go for this third base? Third base is quite exposed. All of the tanks are sieged up in the natural, by the way. So there's a pretty decent opportunity to just send it into the main. Could, of course, go for this third, though. What will he choose? No energy spent just yet, so it looks like he's gonna save it for this main base. Going into the main, right on top of this mine. Unfortunately, mine is not gonna connect. Mine actually does not connect there. Gonna go after the, wow, he's going straight for this comsat, but there's already a science vessel out, so that's not really gonna make too much of a splash. Science vessel is gonna provide that consistent detection that BARRACKS needs to clear this. He's got EMP on the way. So that tank is going to be backed up. No, just re-sieges here at the same spot. Meanwhile, army moving directly towards this third base. And it's not going to be stopped by BARRACKS. BARRACKS is out of position to block this. And so, fighting on two different fronts. Are the tanks going to be able to fight this? You need to bring all the Zealots together to actually jump on top of this. If he gets on top of these tanks and kills a bunch of them, STORK will be able to overwhelm this position. Another recall comes through. Recalls Zealots behind these tanks, and GG. BARRACKS leaves the game. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. BARRACKS, BARRACKS, BARRACKS. I think the hype train has come to a full stop. BARRACKS getting shut down completely by STORK. But STORK is always a factor, man. He is always in there. Managing to make it into so many previous ASL seasons. And making players like Mind look silly in the ASL qualifiers last season. He was able to take out Mind. He didn't even go 4 carriers. In fact, this entire series never got even a single carrier out. He wanted to go carriers, but ended up making a scout as a countermeasure to the attack from BARRACKS. BARRACKS, his aggression falls completely short, falls flat on its face. And the story, the history of STORK, it continues on, guys. This guy's made it into so many different seasons of ASL. All the way from season 2, 3, 4, 5, KSL season 1, ASL season 6, KSL 3, ASL 8, KSL 4, ASL 9, ASL 10, ASL 12, ASL 15, ASL 16, ASL 17, and the autumn season of the SSL. I think there's no doubt he's going to make it into this season as well. If his PVT is looking this good, how could you not expect STORK to make it in again this season? Who's gonna stop this guy? Definitely not BARRACKS. Unless he goes back to the workshop with light and cranks out some really strong practice. I certainly don't think that BARRACKS is the man for the job. So one of our shortest SOOP duel series up to this point. Actually, I think it's the shortest. But 1 hour and 7 minutes. Unbelievable. Yeah, 1 hour 17 minutes is the VOD length. You gotta add the countdown of 10 minutes, so 1 hour and 7 minutes. Unbelievable. This is not what I expected, guys. Again, BARRACKS, such a promising up-and-coming Terran player. Absolutely dominated by someone, I think 2 seasons ago, we would have written off STORK completely in a matchup like this. He has just been practicing out of his mind, out of control. Just dominating BARRACKS. I think him from the old age, or from the Kespa era of Starcraft, him and Jaedong are making the biggest comeback right now. Jaedong is bringing that fighting spirit back to his gameplay. He's actually trying really hard once again. He's practicing a lot. Same thing goes for STORK, it seems. STORK doesn't really share a lot of his replays with the foreign community. He's kind of stingy with his replays, not wanting to reveal his builds and his strategies. But I'm really glad we got to see him here in what appears to be his best form. Just prior to going into this next ASL season. Well, that's it, guys. I mean, we're done. Unreal. It's over already. In autumn, SSL Artosis was fanboying over STORK a bit. Yeah, I know, a lot. He was. And I was pretty excited about STORK as well. He showed some really great promise in the KCM. You know, doing some great things, but... also, I saw him in the qualifier last season. It was looking fantastic, but he just kind of flopped out in the main stage, on the main stage in ASL. maybe this year will be different. We'll see. I know Archos' fanboys over BARRACKS a lot too. I think he's a great player. I really do. I looked at this series and I thought, you know what? I think we're gonna have a pretty sick back and forth between these two, but it's just not the case. Surprising result. But it is what it is. STORK, definitely the better player today. He takes home $500 for himself. And it takes with him a lot of confidence stolen from BARRACKS. So this is the next generation of Terran players. STORK scoffs as he looks down his the brim of his glasses at his computer screen after the 4-0. Turns off his computer and heads out. Go drive his Lamborghini around town. Hit the clubs after. Spend that $500. Some bottle service. This guy's gonna be having a little party tonight. After that insanely fast speed run of a SOOP Duel Series Best of 7. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. What have we got for our next SOOP Duel Series? Well, I haven't gotten confirmation of the next matchup, but that'll be live once again. It'll be the 19th. So tomorrow. Oh, sorry, excuse me, not the 19th. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the wrong week in my calendar. Today is the 11th. It'll be on the 12th. The 12th of March at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you guys there.